bad. All right, so I'm on a mission. I'm at the little store here getting some gas. We'll do a roundabout. Something I thought about, quite a busy day today. I had to fall a tree without falling it on my boat, or my dad's trailer, or my trailer, that type of thing. Yeah, it takes 40 acres to get this rig turned around here. Okay, so anyway, yeah. We are now the 6th of, we're now the 6th of November, 2 days to the American election. Up here in Canadiana, we're kind of like looking and say, oh my God, you know what I really want to be off planet for this one. Aliens, take me now. Mr. Aliens, you can just take me for the next 4 weeks or so. I'll be happy with that. Like, if there was ever a time called for abductions, it's now. We just don't want to be on planet for this election. It's just going to be a shit show no matter which way it goes. But what I'm doing is I'm heading out to the bank right now, which I just thought of it today. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. I mean, I went to the bank the other day, but I live in a small town. I go to the bank, take out a bunch of money, and then I spend cash, live off that until it's down, and then I go and get more. And that's kind of the way we do it in small towns, right? Because we're not, you don't use Interact all the time. Sometimes you just need cash on hand. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? But there's something else I got to consider that. Now, I've been pretty consistent. I still believe Hillary Clinton is going to win. Now, should she win, you're not going to see much of a change in anything. I mean, the main reason why she's going to win is to keep everything the same as it is, and to keep basically that whole system going. And the idea behind it is quite simple. They don't want to change. That's why the whole system is rigged. Is they're trying to keep it so that the Wall Street bankers can keep doing what they're doing. The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Soros, Kissinger, Brzezinski, all those people can still keep the wars going and keep all that stuff. I'm not saying Trump is going to fix everything. But that's why the media is so hell-bent against them. That's why they've doubled down so much. That's why they've stolen votes, rigged everything. It's pretty nasty what they've done. Ooh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Motorcycle behind me. I like those hardcore guys like myself that be out on the bike today. A bit chilly, but yeah. So anyway, yeah. So we know the system's rigged, and that's why they're fighting so hard to get Hillary Clinton into powers, because she's going to maintain that status quo, which is going to be bad for everybody in the long run. But in the short run, you won't even notice it. Why? Because, well, today will be just the same as tomorrow, the next day, next day, next day. There'll be no change. But what I said under a Hillary Clinton win is you get a race war, a civil war, and of course a thermonuclear war with Russia and China. Because, I mean, they can't keep this system going on forever. And even though, well, they can, but the problem is the system doesn't work for the people, so people are just noticing it doesn't matter what the markets say, the whole system is so rigged that people are starting to realize they're getting more poor. Government employees now, and not just in overseas, but here too, and in the United States. Like right now, we got this thing going on here in Canada where they say the new payment system isn't working properly, and there's all these government employees, like tens of thousands of them, that haven't been paid in a couple of months. I guess it'd be like the Soviet Union. We pretended to work, they pretended to pay us, And that's kind of what you got going on right now in Canada. So in the States, I heard there's a whole bunch of government employees. I can't remember if it was the FBI or the CIA or whatever, something along that lines, or the IRS, or one of them. There are a whole bunch of people just not getting paid. There's a whole bunch of people just not getting paid. That's what you call a government furlough, or again, we just don't have the money to pay them. So people, they're going to start to notice this stuff, which sets you up for revolution, no matter what. But just to buy time, if they can get Hillary Clinton in there, create their whatever false flag that they need to distract people, going to war would be the best one with Russia. If they could do that, then people won't be thinking about their bank accounts and how the bankers are stealing from them. They'll be worried about defending their country, etc., etc. Get drawn into another war, wrap up the patriotism, here we go, not asking a question why we're going to war in the first place. And they banked on this World War I, World War II, Vietnam. It's the same all the time. So, and most people go along with it, but we do live in a different type of time where there are people that can reach a lot of people and have reached a lot of people, and hence why you got guys like Trump existing. Now, Trump is what I call a hellhound, trying to restore rule of law. He's the first wave. And another guy is Steve Pieczenik. If you haven't seen his broadcast, I think poor Steve Pieczenik is going to be wrong. He said there's been a silent military coup so that it wouldn't be bloody. And basically, these are the 100+ guys or whatever at the FBI that are basically in revolt. That's why these new allegations against Hillary Clinton have come out, and so that they just need to, And I don't think these guys caught it. Like, now's the time when they had to do the hard coup, not the soft coup. Not that I'm calling for violence, but if they wanted it to be a success, they needed to do it before. But they didn't. They failed. They've got 2 days to put Hillary Clinton in jail. I don't really think that's going to happen. So because of that, the system, once they get past the election with Hillary Clinton in, I mean, the amount of purging of the FBI and CIA and all that, there is going to be a body count. The Clinton body count is going to be a world record. She's going to have so many people killed. And it's not her doing it most of the time. It's going to be the Rothschild Rockefellers behind the scenes. Bushes, Blairs, Obamas, the whole gaggle of them. They're a cabal. They're a cabal and a cartel. And oligarchs. They're all the worst of the worst wrapped into one. So if Hillary Clinton wins, you've got time to stock up on supplies, but it won't. Within a month, there's going to be a crackdown on probably freedom of speech like you've never seen before. The amount of right-wingers that are going to be cracked down on is going to be unbelievable. Very violent. The idea is to kill as many as possible. That's who they're really after in the first place, is the Patriots. That's who they fear. Why? Because these are the people with the guns that can fight back. But the guns aren't enough. Guns aren't enough. And I'm not calling for the violence. I'm just saying that the second wave, hellhounds, is a revolution. The third wave is a military coup. An actual hard military coup, like Saddam Hussein, Fidel Castro, a whole host of others that come in and completely overthrow the government, overthrow the czars, so to speak. That's what you're going to see. Bolshevism 2.0, I guess. That kind of thing. It will be that kind of a bloodshed. So that said, that's why I'm heading to the bank. So even if they collapse the economy next Wednesday, next Thursday, next Friday, whatever, the following Monday, around the 14th, which some are speculating, I don't think it's going to happen that quick. But if Trump was to win, they would let it go quickly. They're going to let it go quickly. Will it be the week after? Probably not. Why? Because it's just too darn obvious that, the system he's trying to overthrow he didn't do it in time. But the thing is if they do that, there's another problem, because he'll just point out who did it. And it'll put people into revolutionary mode, no problem. But the problem is if they wait, say 6 months, that kind of thing, the advantage they get is it catches the people more off guard, so that when they say, well, Donald Trump wrecked the entire system, this is what you voted for, you got what you wanted, yada, 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 it's your fault, your fault, your fault. That's what they always do anyway. The Iraqi war was your fault. The overthrow of the Ukraine using George Soros-funded neo-Nazis with the State Department of Victoria Nuland on behalf of the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, was your fault. The Syrian war and the reason why the refugees are flooding into Europe is your fault. That's the game they always played. If you haven't picked up on that by now, I don't know what to really tell you. But I'm pretty sure most of my audience gets that. Hence, they could possibly, on a Trump watch, it could happen quick. What some people are saying, guys like Bill Holter and stuff, that makes perfect sense. And something I've said myself is that if Trump was to win, he has to fire everybody around him. I mean, when the best guy he can find to keep in his cabinet is, Rudy Giuliani, I think you're in a batshit crazy mode at that point. Rudy Giuliani he's a horrible man, I think he plays both sides, so that might be a bit of a win. But for the most part, I don't see it as a win. But there's not going to be too many people that Trump is going to be able to get to work with them. So, holy jeez. Sunday night, everybody's heading down to town, So I'm going to be stuck here forever and ever and ever. I'm never going to make it to the bank, even though the bank is... I'll just park the car here and walk there. You got a convoy. Come on, one too fast, one too slow. Come on, even it out, people. Even it out. 50 is the number you're going for. 50. But anyway, long story short, yeah, get your money out of the bank while you can, because stock up. You got 2 days. If I'm wrong, I'm not saying it's going to go to shit in 2 days via economic collapse. What I'm saying is in 2 days we're going to see things we never thought before possible. Everybody saw that little scare Trump had last night from the making of this video, where he was whisked off stage after somebody yelled gun, and it was a Republican who basically wasn't a pro-Trump Republican, pulled out a sign, but somebody yelled gun. And then I saw a parody on this one time there. It was like they showed this lady in this like shop in Texas, and there's like a balloon or whatever. The balloon pops while she's looking at some piece of art or pottery or whatever. And everybody pulls out like Desert Eagles and 45s and 357 Magnums and 9 mils, and it was a parody. But that's how tense the Americans are right now. Like they're freaked out. Everybody's terrified of each other and pissed off at each other at the same time while they're all heavily armed. So I don't know what could possibly go wrong, right? That type of thing. So everybody's on high tension mode, that type of thing, beyond belief. So it would be good to be able to weather a little bit of a storm, at least for a week or two. Have your groceries, have that. Just like, wherever you might be, like in an area like myself, rioting isn't something I'm worried about. And being Canadian, I don't think we're going to see too many riots up here in Canada because of that, of Donald Trump winning or Hillary Clinton winning or whoever wins, which I do believe it will be a Clinton win, whether you want it to be or not. Oh, nice parking job, buddy. At least make a freaking movie or something. Case in point is that there's going to be riots and stuff orchestrated, maybe on both sides. It's a shit show no matter which way they go here. So you might want to have some food in case the grocery store nearest you gets burnt down. Especially the inner city people, those apartment buildings, they could be such a death trap. Have yourself an escape plan, but food, money in your pocket, full tank of gas. I put $15 in here. I even got a new headlight in this thing there, increasing the value up by $10, and my van is increased by $10. But you get the idea of what I'm saying is, I'm not saying everything's going to go to crazy, so why would I worry about it in here, Canada? Not really worried about it. It's kind of like more of just, we've seen so many bizarre things that I'm not saying something is going to happen, but it wouldn't hurt to take that into consideration that something can happen. And considering how radical everybody is nowadays, that there is no more moderation. Like, we're still fairly moderate up here in Canada, there's no doubt about that. But in the States, there's absolutely no moderation whatsoever. Everybody is batshit crazy one way or batshit crazy the other way. So with that, like I say, grab your money now, grab your, your food, fill your tank, gas, have a plan B, that type of thing, because we'll have to wait and see what happens, but it's just, you never know, they could be crazy enough. I mean, these are desperate people that we were talking about trying to save this extremely corrupt system. Yes, they could let it go on Donald Trump's watch if he was to possibly win, which I don't think he will. They're going to steal this election, even if it's a landslide for Trump. I think they're still going to steal this election for Hillary Clinton. I think it's beyond obvious now that they're going to do that. So that could lead to destabilization. Now, the right-wingers, I do believe they will riot to a degree, but they're not like left-wingers, communist students, social justice warriors. They don't do that as much. But I do believe there could be, the crazies will snap first, and we're going to see stuff like, again, God help us all, Again, aliens, take me now. Take me now. Like, I really don't I want to be off planet for this one. But it'll be interesting no matter which way. So, because you could see, right now, if guys like Greg Manarino saying the stock market is rigged for a Trump win, or set up for a Trump win. Now, on the mainstream, they're saying, no, the stock market almost guarantees you that it will be a Hillary Clinton win. So, again, they're going to steal it. The mainstream media, it's not, again, who votes, it's who counts the votes, right? So with the mainstream media, if they keep saying that Hillary Clinton's going to win by this much, that much, I think they're just going to give it to her by a sliver. But everybody's, whether she, and even if she did, let's say, hypothetically speaking, she did win, honestly, like enough people actually voted for her, it's still going to have really crazy consequences. So no matter which way you go, it's just get out there, get prepared. I'll leave it at that, so I got to go in the bank anyway. So anyway, get yourself some money, fill your tank full of gas as much as you can, buy some groceries. If I'm wrong, at least you got stuff you're going to use. You can't go wrong with it. But it'd be good to have it, not need it, not have it, right? So, all right, anyway, so if you like this kind of content, please consider making a donation channel. Links down below. Thank you so much to everybody who has. Next time, rate, subscribe, share, comment, like. Be true to yourself, be true to others. Always do the right thing, and have yourselves a great day, eh? Hey, hi, and welcome. I know you can't see me that well. It's not too bad. All right, so I'm on a mission. I'm at the little store here getting some gas. I'll do a roundabout. Something I thought about, it was quite a busy day today. I had to fall a tree without falling it on my boat, or my dad's trailer, or my trailer, that type of thing. Yeah, it takes 40 acres to get this rig turned around here. Okay, so anyway, yeah. We are now the 6th of, we're now the 6th of November, 2 days to the American election. Up here in Canadiana, we're kind of like looking and say, oh my God, what the, I really want to be off planet for this one. Aliens, take me now. Mr. Aliens, You can just take me for the next 4 weeks or so. I'll be happy with that. Like, if there was ever a time called for abductions, it's now. We just don't want to be on planet for this election. It's just going to be a shit show no matter which way it goes. But what I'm doing is I'm heading out to the bank right now, which I just thought of it today. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. I mean, I went to the bank the other day, but I live in a small town. I go to the bank, take out a bunch of money, and then I spend cash, live off that until it's down, and then I go and get more. And that's kind of kind of the way we do it in small towns, right? Because we're not, you don't use Interact all the time. Sometimes you just need cash on hand. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? But there's something else that I got to consider. That now I've been pretty consistent. I still believe Hillary Clinton is going to win. Now, should she win, you're not going to see much of a change in anything. I mean, the main reason why she's going to win is to keep everything the same as it is, and to keep basically that whole system going. And the idea behind it is quite simple. They don't want to change. That's why the whole system is rigged. Is they're trying to keep it so that the Wall Street bankers can keep doing what they're doing. The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Soros, Kissinger, Brzezinski, all those people can still keep the wars going and keep all that stuff. I'm not saying Trump is going to fix everything.